Hi there, I'm meteorologist Robert Spett here with you today. It is the 4th of April, 2014. Today we are talking about a tropical depression 05W, actually labeling it Tropical Storm Peipah. Reason is I do think this is going to develop into a named tropical storm here into the near future. Now, there are a few things holding it back from doing so at this time. For starters, we have an exposed low-level circulation. Second, this is about 2 to 3 degrees north from the equator. And what I mean by that is we are lacking some Coriolis force on this. And if you don't understand what Coriolis force, I'll actually put an annotation here on the screen right now to our Typhoon Weather 101, which explains all the factors that need to be in place or should be in place for tropical system development, Coriolis force being one of them. So close to the equator, you're kind of you don't have it. Now, it's not unheard of to have storm systems this far south. Bofa in 2012, a clear example of a strong one developing around 5 degrees north. But this one, it is having that negligible effect on it. Also, you can see on the screen, we have a very exposed satellite or exposed low-level circulation, and that's this right here. All the widespread convections off there towards the west, and that really is going to help dampen this intensification on this storm system over the next 24 to 48 hours. So that is probably one reason why the Japan Meteorological Agency still has this as a tropical depression. With that said, it is expected to move into a little bit farther towards the northwest. We're going to see this convection wrap around this. Dynamical model guidance is in place for this to develop some more. So if you are out here in Plow or Yap, those are the areas I think you really need to watch this one into the near future. I know a lot of you are watching from the Philippines, so we're going to get to you in a second, but the forecast comes more uncertain once we get out there towards the west. What we are seeing right now, though, is this track is expected, and there's pretty good confidence. This is a track from JTWC issued from the Guam National Weather Service, or displayed by the Guam National Weather Service, showing the track of the storm, and it goes south of Plow. That would put you guys right in the right front quadrant. And if we pull up our tracking map here, you can find this at westernpacificweather.com. Not just for once JMA comes around and Pegasa starts warning on it, by the way, you can pull up the different agencies right here, but you can also click. And let's go ahead and go over here and click on, well, the Plow area. 111 kilometer per hour winds with gusts up to 138. This is the forecast right now by JTWC. That is not winds that you want to take lightly. It's not quite typhoon strength yet by the time it runs over the islands, but it still is going to be enough to cause some damage and some fairly heavy rain, the risk of flooding on some of these islands out here. So that is really what I think the biggest topic is going to be as we go ahead into the 7th. Now it slowly intensifies, slower than what Climo would expect, and one reason is it's just so far south, and we're going to encounter some more vertical wind shear as this does approach closer and closer to the Philippines out here. But right now, pretty good confidence if you're on Plow and Yap. I really think you should get ready for this one. A severe tropical storm intensity. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Models are going a little bit weaker, and I noticed JTWC, they're actually above the model guidance. And one reason is sometimes when we get storms going in the Philippine Sea here, climatology, once again, kind of says they do some rapid intensification across the Philippine Sea. Haiyan was a perfect example of that. I mean, that one exploded right before it made landfall. So I think that's one reason why they're expecting this to do some more intensification. But will it make landfall? If we go now, this is out to 3 days here, and this whole track you're being seen displayed right here. This goes out 5 days, and it's just right at the point prior to landfall. 5-day forecast for tropical systems pretty extended. Keep that in mind. I know a lot of you asked me 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time, and there are a few people on social media that think they can do that, and they're always wrong. I mean, come on. If you say a storm is going to develop 3 to 4 weeks in advance, and then the storm goes west and then somehow it reforms back several thousand kilometers back towards the east, eventually you're going to be vindicated and your pre-storm is going to occur. All right, so this track still changes what I'm saying, but at least at this time, I do think that eastern portions of Ascites and eastern Mindanao, you are going to be impacted by this. Will it be directly or indirectly? That's one of the bigger topics. Let's go ahead and pull up the ECMWF model here. Now, this is from our Meteor Earth platform on Friday. Scrolling through, and let's go ahead all the way out through. And you can see our center of circulation there. It's moving towards Palau. All right. So this is on Monday and the Tuesday. We got a storm system just south of Palau. We're looking at some pretty gusty winds with this. I mean, let's go ahead and pull up well, that's the rain ray right there. I'll go ahead and get rid of that, and we can pull up the winds. About 26 to 30 kilometers per hour. The closer it is to the center of circulation, the more we might see less winds, because actually farther off towards the north, due to that gradient-induced winds with highs, the high pressure towards the north, we see about 40 to 50 kilometer per hour winds. Now let's keep on going, though, and this eventually tracks farther towards the west. Now, this is 5 days out. A little bit slower than JTWC's track. Remember, this is still 5 days out. I mean, got a lot of time to watch this. All right, let's get back to the GFS model, though. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here for you. Now, this right here on your screen, that's actually the ECMWF again. I'll go ahead and flip this over to the GFS. And they expect a much stronger storm system and a little bit faster paced. All right, so this is on the 3rd of April. We'll go ahead and scroll this ahead all the way out to about the 8th or the 9th, pushing right near the immediate coastline. That's actually at the 12 UTC run. The 18 UTC is a little bit farther off towards the east. So that's some good news for you. Now, like I said, is it going to be impacted, or will be a direct impact? That's the biggest question, I think, at this point. Is this going to recurve and move off towards the north, or will it make a landfall? I think at this point, we could see a recurvature. Dynamical guidance is pointing at that. But the biggest thing that we have seen in the past is that dynamical model guidance points to a recurvature towards the north, and that high pressure ridge that we see just off towards the north where I'm putting my mouse, it stays in place, and that causes storm to continue on its westwardly track. I think right now I'm making this update on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. By Sunday, I'll be able to give you an answer. Is this going to make a landfall or not on the Philippine coastline? But here on Friday, models are split. ECMWF continues to go west. NavGem, and I'll go ahead and pull up the NavGem here for you. And this is the one that the guys at JTWC, I guarantee you're looking at, because it's their model. This is the U.S. military's model. They expect our storm system to, I mean, look at this. It doesn't even it goes near Yap and Palau as a weak storm, and then, wow. It totally gets strewn off towards the north by an upper level trough, and you see this doesn't even get remotely close to the Philippines. So we have a huge split beyond the point of where this impacts Palau and Yap. And I think at this time we have to get a little bit more data, and we have to look at the atmosphere. Now, climatology would tell me that high pressure ridge is off there towards the north. This storm is so incredibly far south that it's going to stay on that westward track. JTBC is hinting at a recurve right there in the end, but yeah, I think they want to keep it south as well. So we're going to continue to monitor this through the coming days and keep you updated. And please check not just my video updates, but also meteorologist Mike Adcock. He continues to put out video updates as well. If you are watching here, please go ahead and click the subscribe button.